Welcome back to EBT Performance Pakenham, the home of Squid Speed Shop. Today I've got another how-to video for you. What are we doing? You would have read the title of the video. We're doing how to install adjustable push rods. I will say, if you're not mechanically minded and you don't like tinkering with things, I wouldn't give it a go. There is a chance to do it wrong and cause some damage. So keep that in mind. If you blow your shit up, that's not my fault. But for the guys that'd like to know, I'm going to show you how I go about it. We're going to be installing the S&S Quickie push rods today. Readily available, easy to get, they're good quality, and they do the job. So let's start with how to remove the stock push rods. And so I've already disassembled a bunch of this stuff just because I'm doing a cam job at the same time. And to be fair, all you have to do is remove your air cleaner and throttle body. And if you can't work that out, you shouldn't be attempting this job. So this lesson is useful for a few different reasons. One, you're doing a stage 2 and you're going to replace your cam, and this is the quickest way to go about doing that. The second reason is you want to replace your hydraulic lifters because you've done 30,000 Ks, they're getting a bit noisy. This is how you go about doing that. Or you want to install some CNC billet lifter cuffs to replace the OEM factory ones. Those 3 jobs all require the removal of the original push rods, and the easiest way and most time efficient way to do that is to cut them out and install adjustables. So that's what we're going to get after. Okay, so here we are. The stock air cleaner has been removed. The throttle body has been removed just to let us have easy access to our push rods. The other thing that I have done off camera is I've removed a front and a rear spark plug. I've jacked the bike up and I've put it in top gear. Now, I've done that so that we can rotate the motor, and you'll understand why in a second. So first things first, we've got to get to our OEM push rods, and it's as simple as you pull down on the collet just a little bit to remove some tension. There is a spring in here, and we take our flat blade screwdriver and we put it into the little opening on the top here. So I pull down and twist, and he just pops out. And I do this for all of them. Pull down, twist. Same with the fronts. Fronts I swap hands. Pull down and twist. And there we go. Then we lift up our bottom pushrod tubes, push them to the top. Now we have access to our push rods. And what we have to do is check to see if they spin. So if you can twist them with your fingers, that means that there's no extra load being placed on them. They're not trying to operate a valve, and therefore they are safe to cut. And now if they do not spin, that means you've got to rotate the motor. So we've got the bike in 6th gear, you turn over the back wheel. If you're on the right hand side of the bike, you're going to want to turn the wheel clockwise. But as this push rod is spinning, we take our bolt cutters, give it a twist, and there we have it. Push rod cut off. We check our next one. Does it spin? No, it does not. All right, we're going to have to jack the bike up, turn the motor over. All right, I've turned the engine over. Now I can spin this push rod with my fingers. And again, bolt cutters in. And there we have the OEM push rod, chopped. Do the same thing for the front ones, and then we'll get into how to install the new ones. So we have our push rods removed. I have pulled the O-rings from our tappet covers. We then have to pull the O-rings out of the head, these yellow guys. They can be a little bit tricky to get with your fingers. So if you're struggling, get a little pick and just gently pop him out. Now with all of the O-rings removed, we take our brand new O-rings from S&S that come with the push rods. We put a little bit of oil on them, just a little bit, just to lube them all up. Our biggest diameter O-rings go in our lifter covers. And then our thickest O-rings go in the top, into the head. And just use your finger to make sure they're seated properly. And then you'll have 4 O-rings left over, and that is for assembling the pushrod tubes. So now we're going to do that. So for this, we take our OEM pushrod, we pull it apart, and we want to retain the collet and the spring. So we're going to reuse those. We take our S&S upper pushrod tube and we install our collet and our spring. S&S supply you with a washer. We then install that. We then go with our new O-ring. And then the S&S lower pushrod tube. And that is ready to be installed into the bike. We then take our new pushrod, install it fully collapsed inside the tube. Now I've already cleaned out this pushrod to make sure there's no debris inside it. Before we install our pushrod, we have to make sure that our lifters are at their lowest point, so they're on the base line of the cam. And essentially what you can do there is you can put your fingers inside and feel them go up and down as you turn over the back wheel while it's still in top gear with no spark plugs in it. And you'll be able to turn it over and you'll feel them come up and down as they go through, as they follow the cam. So when they're at their lowest, you'll feel them not move as you turn the motor over, and that is where we are installing our push rods. And so what I do is we go into the head first, and then we allow the bottom part of the push rod to drop down. I'm holding onto the nut, I'm holding onto the locking nut and the top of the push rod. I then grab a pair of needle nose pliers just to hold it as I start to thread the push rod. No, still haven't got it. They can be tricky to start sometimes, you just got to keep at it. Once a little bit of thread is showing from the lower part of the push rod, you can put on the locking nut just a little bit, just so it's out of your way, and then you keep spinning it up until you reach what they call zero lash, which is where the push rod is in the center of the lifter and it's in the center of the rocker arm, and you can spin it freely, but you can't wiggle it up and down. And so at the minute I can wiggle it up and down quite a ways, so I'll keep spinning that out with my fingers. And now at the minute it's just getting too tight for me to do with my fingers there. I can go a little bit more there. So that's as tight as I can sort of do it with my fingers. And now the push rod spins freely, if you can see that, but there's no up and down movement. Now we get some spanners. So now you want to hold the lower part of the push rod, which in this case is a 1/4 inch. We'll then take a 7/16 and we are going to be rotating the top section, increasing its length. Now, what's the thread count? So the thread count on the S&S push rods is 32 threads per inch. So therefore we want to rotate, and by rotating it 4 times, that lengthens the push rod by 130 thou, which gets us in the ideal location into the lifter so that it has the maximum travel that we want. To count 4 rotations is a little bit tricky. What you can do is you can mark one of the flats and then count every time it turns around, or what I do is I do it in flats. So there's 6 flats to a turn, 24 flats. So I just count 24 flats, gives me the 4 turns, and then I lock it up. So it's 24 flats. We bring up our locking nut. We give it a little bit to bring it up to 0. We then get 2 7/16 spanners and we lock the locking nut to the top one. Now after that's complete, we have to wait till we can spin this with our hands before we rotate the motor and can say that this is installed. I'll give you guys a close-up of the S&S Quickie push rod so that you know what I'm talking about. We have the lower part, we have our locking nut, and what I was simply doing was threading the lower part out. You can see there a thread. So when I talked about the thread poking out, then we bring up our locking nut. We bring it to 0, and then we do our 24 flats. Then we lock our nut. And then that is our push rod to length. Now I'm going to carry on installing the other push rods, so I can install this one while I'm waiting for the other one to bleed down, because this lifter is also on the baseline. So I'm going to install that one now. Then we're going to wait for them to bleed down. We'll be able to spin them with our hands. We'll rotate the motor until these 2 tappets are on their base circle, and then we'll install those 2. So with all of our uppers installed into the O-rings, we take our locking tab and our screwdriver on top of the collet. Now this is a little bit tricky, but we push it up into the head, then we leverage it there it is. So up into the head, we lever down on the collet and up on the locking tab, and it's in. This does take a little bit of practice, but you just reset and go again. And then you have it. They're all installed. So I hope you find that helpful in your endeavours, whether it's replacing your lifters, installing the tappet cuffs, or doing your own stage 2. But that's the basics on how to install adjustable push rods. Feel free to ask any questions you like in the comments section, and I'll try and answer them as best I can. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Share it with your buddies. I'd really appreciate it. And if all possible, come into the store, grab yourself some merch and represent Squid Speed Shop when you're out and about. Feel free to head over to the social medias. That's EBT Pakenham on Instagram and Facebook. And until next week, hooroo!